Hey, Shalom Akim. I want to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Bashem El Shai. Double honor to the elders of Great Millstone. Much love and respect to all you brothers out there doing the work of sincerity and truth. Striving for the hope for elect, enduring all afflictions, and seeking out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Yahweh Bashem El Shai, Bashem Kakadash, Barakatam, Akim, Nakwathium. Alright, as always, coming out here to prophesy the downfall of what we know as America, according to the Bible, is spiritually Babylon. Spiritually Sodom and Egypt, okay? To let the Negro Latinos and Native American Indians know that you are the true Hebrew Israelites of the Bible, the chosen people of the Most High, who the world ignorantly calls God, Yahweh, and His Son Jesus. But the true names are Yahweh, the Father's name, and the Son's name is Yahweh Shai. And that's what we come out here to do, is to preach and to prophesy of things that are going to come to pass according to what the Holy Spirit endowed the men of old to write upon these the parchments and the scrolls. And we have the insight of the future. Not everybody has the ability to come into this book and open it up and to see the things that the elect, that the prophets are able to see. And that's how we're able to measure the time diligently in itself, to know where we're at in this current time. And we know that this kingdom, America, which the end of the world is nothing but an end of a certain nation's rulership. Okay, so I want to start off with Sirach chapter 10, verse 1. A wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. That's right. So a wise judge will instruct his people. So this applies to the men of the Lord, the Israelites, the men of the Lord that are set up to play that role, a judge, a power, because that's all that word means. The word God is what is it? Allah, right? Which means power, or a judge that has the authority. So we, as those men, Lord willing, I'm part of that number. We have that power to speak, to instruct the people, tell them what's coming to pass, tell them what to avoid, tell them what the difference between good and evil, what's right and wrong. Okay? Because here in America, it's all backwards. It's contrary to the ways of the Lord, man. The things that are wicked and evil are acceptable. Everything that's going on with this whole individual that was murdered, George Floyd, that was a small thing compared to what's been happening since the time of America's foundation. All right, so there's been nothing but bloodshed upon this land since the beginning. All right, so it's not just this one person. This is years and thousands and hundreds of years, and I'm just speaking according to America's birth, not according to the strife between Esau and Jacob. Okay, but since the time of America's birth, there's been nothing but murder, bloodshed, deceit, robbery. Okay, so it's just accumulating to this time because it's prophecy that the Lord was going to make these things to come to pass. All right, let's get it real quick, because Yahweh Shai spoke it. Matthew 24:3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? Right, when you go into that end of the world part, the word world is eons, an age. So when's the end of this age? And that's what we're telling the people. What's the end of this age? Right, pertaining to America, the so-called white man, his rulership. What's the sign of the age? When's the end of his world? That's what we're coming out here to instruct our people. Because Lord willing, if the elect, I'm gonna say it like this: the elect are gonna be judges, the future new judges. Not these white people, not these Edomites. You ain't gonna have no police officers. They're gonna be working unrighteousness in the kingdom of Yahweh by Shema Shah. Okay? You ain't gonna be having none of that. Anybody trying to get away with doing unrighteousness. Okay? You ain't gonna have none of that going on. It said, I'm gonna read it again. Tell us, when shall these things be? What shall be the sign of thy coming and end of the world? And that's what us men on the highways and about, we're instructing the people, a wise judge, right? Because Yahweh Shai or Peter asked Yahweh Shai, what shall we receive for doing all these things? This is Matthew 19 and 27. And answered Peter and said unto him, behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have therefore? And Yahweh Shai said unto them, verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon the 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. Judges. Okay? So right now we're rehearsing that. We're being built up for that. We're being led to doing that. Instructing the people. That's why the Lord in the book of Psalms says, who shall rise up for me against the evildoers? Only somebody that has the ability to make proper judgment, a judge, an authority figure, has that ability. With discernment, proper discretion, balance. Not just these protesters out here just bugging out, wilding out, and acting a fool, man. Chanting the same thing repetitive over and over, dancing, crumping in front of the enemy. That ain't gonna do nothing, man. Look, what has hip hop ever done for us? Nothing. Hip hop never done anything for us, but gave us a platform to make money, or Esau to make money off of you Negro Latinos and Native American Indians. That's it. You see? It's unprofitable. The way you combat against evil is coming into the scriptures, man. Coming into the scriptures. Because the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Al-Shah is going to go onto the earth, and it's going to do exactly what it needs to do. It's going to accomplish where it's sent out. And it's not going to return unto him void, man. Whether people want to agree or believe or disbelieve, or if they're not capable of seeing. We don't have to see it. Because when we do see it, this stuff like this is what's going on in the earth. Death, murder. That's a sign of Yahweh Bashem Al-Shah working a great power in this time, man. That's how we know the Lord's word ain't returning unto him void. And that's how we know that the Lord said, if you follow me in the regeneration, in the reincarnation, you shall judge the 12 tribes of Israel. Because the wise judge shall instruct his people, man. We're instructing our people, telling you who you are, telling you what to avoid. Let's go over here to the book of Isaiah to prove that point. Isaiah, let's see. Shall not return unto him void, right? Let's see real quick. Let's see where it is, man. Yeah, Isaiah 55 and 11. It says, so shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please. And it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it. You see? So that's part of one of the blessings, the gifts that Yahweh Bashem Al-Shah has endowed upon the northern and the southern kingdom prophets. That whatever was sent out of our mouth, Lord willing, is going to be bound, as it is bound in heaven, it shall be bound on earth. Okay? It's gonna happen on earth. Yahweh Shah is going to send it from above and then allow it to happen on the earth, man. The prophets of old always did that. They spoke it, they prayed to Yahweh Bashem Al-Shah, and Yahweh Bashem Al-Shah, they sent that prayer, that request. But we don't have to see it automatically. It's going to eventually accomplish where it was sent. Wherever the word needs to go, it's going to accomplish. It's going to manifest itself however it needs to be manifested, whether it be for good or bad, because His word is not always meant to bring people in and to rejoice. It's also meant to divide between the good and the evil, separate those that are evil and good. And the evil are going to manifest their fruits of adultery, murder, things of that nature. That's why you're seeing people out everywhere. People they don't give a shit no more. Everybody is showing their true colors. Angry, they're frustrated, irritated, oppressed. They're ready. They're ready to kill. They're ready for bloodshed, man. Fighting nowadays ain't just a little quick fight. It's the fight now. To get into a fight nowadays, they're gonna knock your ass out, and their intentions to really inflict harm on you, man. You fall down, crack your head against the cement, you're done. bleed out and you're dead. That's the time that we're in. It's not real quick, just hit them up real quick and then that's it. Hey man, you had enough. They keep going and going and going until you're out. That's how these cops are. These cops are like that. Even though we know Esau, he has that and he's bloodthirsty, right? But everybody's being manifested. It's from you Negro Latinos and Native Americans to these other nations. Okay? So the Lord's word ain't returning unto him void. It's doing exactly what needs to be done. Okay? Everything's being accomplished. We're just instructing you. We're just letting you people know. We're relaying the message as a man of the Lord would do. Sounding the alarm. Sounding the trumpet. Okay? Warning you from Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Because Yahweh Shai, who you ignorantly call God and Jesus, is not coming back to play games with nobody, man. You think what's going on is bad? Just wait until when he comes back. He ain't gonna plead with you. He ain't gonna ask you, hey, woo, are you gonna repent now? No, he's gonna. The judgment's already being set. That's why, speaking to us brothers, to the brotherhood, that's why we have to maintain ourselves in this constant work, man. Maintain yourself in this constant work, being a wise judge, instructing the people. Not a part-timer, not a lukewarm individual, not a half-ass stepper. Everybody knows they don't like people like that. Especially when it consists of something that they're really, the other party is passionate about, but then there's one individual or 2, 3 individuals that are not half-assing. What happens? They get kicked out. Yeah, how much more Yahweh Bashem Yahushua? He's going to spit you out of his mouth because why? You're lukewarm, man. That's what he's doing to America. America's being spewed out as being vile, man. That's why all the chaos that's going on in America is prophesied in the Bible, man. Because America's built upon bloodshed. Innocent blood poured out. And it's going to be rectified by way of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Not by the hands of the Negro Latinos and Native American Indians. I'm telling you that right now. From up on high is going to come salvation and deliverance and destruction, man. Not one stone shall be left upon one another, man. That means this place is going to be just laid flat by way of thermonuclear destruction. All right. So, going back to Matthew 24 and 4, and Yahweh shall answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences, and earthquakes in diverse places. Is that not what we're seeing, man? At a higher rate now. Going back 10 years ago, when I first started, it wasn't like what it is now. This is a whole new thing. This is a whole new level of going from the beginning of sorrows. The beginning of sorrows has different levels. You see? It's escalating more and more violence, more of worriness, of insured times. Okay? The people are full of distress and anxiety. These people don't know what to do. So they act out by vandalizing because they don't know what else to do. It's just like, I don't know what a good example is, but you have somebody that's in front of you, an object or individual or whatever, that has the power, and they're intimidating you or provoking you, whether it be verbally or just standing there provoking you, intimidating you, and that they're emanating this condescending attitude towards you to make you feel small, because it's all mental warfare, right? We know it's spiritual things that are going on, and the only way you know how to react is either walk away, or you start cussing, yelling, or hitting shit, breaking shit, or you hit yourself because you know that you don't have the ability to take this man down, or this individual. That's how these people are. They know they can't. They have a fear upon them. You see, so that's why they go and they do what they do. And I'm not saying everybody has that mentality. Some people actually want to be destructive. But I'm talking to those that feel like they don't have no other way. This is the way you have to do it, man. You have to set your house in order. You have to repent. You have to be a broken, contrite spirit towards Yahweh Shemel Shai. And he's the one that's going to heal you. He's going to make you whole. He's going to give you the spirit of courage. All right? He's going to fill you with courageous spirits, man. And it's the Holy Spirit that he's going to give you. And he's going to renew you, man. In the inner man. Not doing what you do. Okay? So the Lord had already told us about all these things that are going to be going on. It says, all these are the beginning of sorrows. They shall deliver you up to be afflicted and shall kill you. And ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. Right? And that's pertaining to those that are preaching. The ones that are have this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Okay? Going back to Sirach 10 and 2. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. Okay? So, however, the Yahweh Shemel Shai, his men are going to be that same way. However, Esau, the ruler of the kingdom of this earth right now, because we can all agree who rules and governs the earth right now. Who controls everything? It's so-called white people. White people control everything. They control everything, to the music, to the television, the media, your schools, prison systems, money, the Federal Reserve. All that is governed by who? The so-called white people. Esau, the Edomites. Okay? The cities, they're named after his names. The planets, the lands, the rivers, the streets. All right? The schools, the colleges are named after who? So-called white people. Now they've infiltrated the churches to where now they integrated themselves as being the men of the chosen people of the Lord. Going back to the people in Israel that who are considered, they call themselves Israelis or Jewish. Okay, that word "ish" is meaning not pertaining to, because those people don't pertain to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, man. Those people over there in Israel are fake people, man. They're not the real people of the Lord. Okay, they're the synagogue of Satan, deceivers. All right, they come from Esau, the Edomites. That's who the so-called white people come from, Esau. And the Negro Latinos and Native American Indians, we come from our father Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Why? Because we fit the curses. Yahweh Shemel Shai told us we're going to have certain attributes on how to identify his people in wherever they may be. Okay. So it says, as a judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. You see? I was watching a video on the internet, and you had like 5 Edomite cops walking in the black neighborhood. So they started recording them, and they were like, man, what are they doing over here? And they called them over to speak to them. They said, well, they had to send white cops. Why couldn't they send black cops? You know? And because Esau knows that Jake is not going to go 100% like Esau would. Esau's going to go all the way to hurt, to afflict the Negro Latinos and Native American Indians, because Esau knows that Jacob has those attributes that Esau does not cannot retain. He does not retain mercy or compassion, empathy. He lacks those things. He's a soulless man. He's a man of he's a faithless man. Let me get this one that keep popping in my head. Keep rambling, talking and not pulling scriptures out, but you know, this is Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Right? So the soul that is lifted up is not upright in him, meaning that he's not a righteous man. He's a deceiver, man. Okay, full of deception. He's not upright in himself. He has no integrity. He has no, like I said, he has no empathy. He's not an empath. He's full of being unmerciful. Okay, bloodthirsty. This is Psalms 55 and 20. He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Cast thy burden upon the Lord, and he shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. But thou, O Most High Yahweh, shall bring them down into the pit of destruction. Bloody and deceitful men shall not live out half their days, but I will trust in thee. Right. So Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, he's going to be the one. He's going to be the one that is going to throw them down into a pit of destruction. Those that broke the covenant and are against such as be at peace with him. You see? Let me get this other one that's popping up. Let's see. That's how Esau is, man. That's why he's likened unto a serpent. The serpent just sits there quietly coiled up, ready to strike, man. Not all snakes have a rattler warning you, like a rattlesnake. All right? You got some venomous snakes out there that don't give no warning. This is Psalms 120 and 7. For I am for peace, but when I speak, they are for war. You see? And that's what we're seeing. These Edomites, they're for war, man. You know, and then they had another individual. It was a Jake with the U.S. Marines, I believe. And he was opposed. I think it might have been in New York. It was somewhere in one of those big cities. And they had the camera on him, and they were saying, "I'm black and I'm proud." And he was reciting it with his people. You know, if you carefully read his lips, he was reciting it, and they had the camera zoomed in on him, and people were making comments saying, "You need to put this video down because you're gonna get him in trouble." That Esau knows that he has to send his people out there to do that bit, because they're the ones that are gonna enforce it all the way, and not have any kind of a regret or regard of life. You know. It's gonna be crazy out here, man. You're gonna have division everywhere. The Lord told you there's gonna be great division in here. There's gonna be division within the governments, the police force, the schooling systems. Everywhere is gonna be division. It's gonna be between Esau and Jacob, like it was prophesied it was going to be. All the other nations, the heathens, are gonna follow behind as well, and they're gonna link up with those that they agree with. You know what I'm saying? And because it's not, at the end of the day, it's not about color. It's about the spirit. It's about who your bloodline comes from. Whether you come from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and you can be any kind of color. You can be any type of tone of brown. It don't matter. And that's how you're gonna be able to differentiate between those that are for Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. But really, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai has to call you. You have to be handpicked by Yahweh to follow his son Yahweh Shai. But there's going to be great division everywhere here in America. Okay? Because this man is full of war, man. And we're out here, the men of the Lord are the only ones that are speaking of peace. Whether or not, if it don't sound good to you, when we talk about bloodshed, talk about death, destruction, that's still peace, because it's going to bring peace. What's going to come out of that is peace. It has to happen. Okay? It has to happen. In order for the kingdom to be restored again, because in the kingdom of heaven, which is going to be here on earth, is going to have what's the word? Perpetual peace and joy, man. All right, everlasting. It's not going to be temporary like it is here. People are getting all happy because they're prosecuting and filing. The charges are being pushed on these individuals that killed that individual, George Floyd. But that's just one thing amongst millions of what's happened. You got Planned Parenthood. You got all these different things. You got like I said, or like we all say, all his brothers. You got the pharmaceuticals. You got the food industry. You got music. You got television. You got a lot of things that are going on that are contrary to the ways of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. That Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is pissed off about. We're pissed off about it. that had to be cleansed. That had to be paid back, recompensed. It's not just because over one man's death or because 2 or 3, 4 cops are getting prosecuted. It goes deeper than that, man. This whole nation has to be wiped out, and only Yahweh B'Shem Shai knows that, and we know that. And people don't like to hear about that. Why? Because it means that they're going to have to pay for what their forefathers had done. Matter of fact, let me get that real quick. This is Sirach chapter 41, verse 5. The children of sinners are abominable children, and they that are conversant in the dwelling of the ungodly. The inheritance of sinners' children shall perish. See? The inheritance of those sinners' children shall perish. That's what they're going to receive, the reward. It says, and they and their posterity shall have a perpetual reproach. The children will complain of an ungodly father, because they shall be reproached for his sake. Woe be unto you, ungodly men, which have forsaken the law of the Most High Power. For if ye increase, it shall be to your destruction. So they're going to complain of an ungodly father. Why? Because they're going to be reproached for it. Not realizing that they are their forefathers, man. Coming back in the reincarnation. You see? That's all it is, but people don't like to hear it. It's displeasing to an Edomite's ears to hear that they're going to be recompensed for everything they've done to the Native American Indians, so-called blacks, all right, which we are the Hebrew Israelites of the Bible, man. They don't like to hear about it because they know they're going to be destroyed. They're going to be put into captivity for a period of 1,000 years. America's going to be wiped out. There ain't going to be no more EU. There ain't going to be no more military, police. All right, there ain't going to be no more schooling. All right, with their perverse doctrines that they put on our children. There ain't going to be no more of that, man. There ain't going to be no more fake money. We ain't going to be taking no vaccines and corrupt or defiled food. Everything in the kingdom is going to be made fresh. It's going to be beautiful, man. Why wouldn't you want that? Everything has a process. Something's born, it has to die, and it morphs into something beautiful. Goes into the spirit, comes back, born again, dies. Okay? There's an end to everything, and there's an end to Esau's kingdom. They don't like to hear that. This is 2nd Ezra 9 and 5. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. That's all that is, man. It's a manifestation. I mean, what's the word? I don't want to use the word metamorphosis, but it's like it's a change that is coming. And that's what I'm trying to get at in Sirach chapter 10. The translation of kingdom is going to be a change. Okay? Into something beautiful. And it's going and the new rulers that are going to receive that and take honor in that are the elect. That's what we're fighting for. That's why we do this work. That's why we remain in the fear of Yahweh B'Shem Shai. Coming out to the highways and about doing exactly what our King told us to do. Not going upon our own selves, our own hearts, doing what we want to do. Because you got guys out there that do what the fuck they want to do. And think that because they have the knowledge that they're going to be saved. The Lord talks about those that knew what to do and didn't do it, they're going to be cast out. Okay? Let me get that one in Psalms real quick. You got individuals that think that because they have the name and they have the knowledge that they're good, they're going to be saved. No, there's a lot of requirements that you have to go through to fulfill that lot. Okay, we don't know who the 144,000 is. We don't know who that great multitude is. So if you were called and a brother told you to go and do the work, and that's really Yahweh Shai telling you, then you should be doing the work. Point blank, period. This is Psalms 2 and 1. I will declare the decree. The Lord has said unto me, thou art my son. This day have I begotten thee. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thy inheritance, and the utmost parts of the earth for thy possession. Why? Because the Israelites are going to receive the universe, the world, man. Everything. Why? Because they did exactly what their Lord said to do. Even though we know they were predestined from the foundation of the earth, but again, it goes back to that not knowing who the elect is, not knowing who the great multitude is. You just do what you got to do. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. Be wise now, therefore, O you kings, and be instructed, you judges of the earth. You got to be wise, man. You can't be foolish. You know? Your eyes were opened up to this thing at one time. You came in, you're doing what you're supposed to do, and then you put the plow down. You're turning back. You know? Using excuses. You have every excuse under heaven why you can't be doing the work. Now, it's more just making a video. This is the organic way to do it. When the internet is shut down, and we're still able to go to preach, you're gonna have to go back to doing what this. So why aren't you doing the work? This is the organic way to protest, is by coming out of the word of the Lord, because Yahweh Shai is the one that we're supposed to be defending, and bringing back that not the accusation, but the guilty to the forefront, and let them know what they did was wrong, and that they're going to be paid for killing Yahweh Shai, for killing the Hebrew Israelites. Because Yahweh Shai, he's going to defend his people. Our job is to defend the gospel, who comes in the volume of the book, Yahweh Shai. Because Yahweh Shai, he was unrighteously dealt with and murdered. Right? Psalms 2:10. Be wise now, therefore, O you kings, be instructed, you judges of the earth. Serve the Lord with fear and rejoice with trembling. See, and you got a lot of guys that they don't fear the Lord. They like to say that they do. They like to pull out scriptures that they do, but their actions show otherwise. Oh, but I grow my beard, or I don't eat pork, or I don't do this, I don't do that. Okay, but you lack one thing. What did Yahweh Shai tell that rich man? He said, obey the commandments. And he said, I have from my youth up. And he told him, if thou be perfect, follow me. But you lack one thing, man. That's why it's very important that we have to rehearse everything. We have to be circumspect within ourselves and everything. The Lord, in the book of Psalms, 51, King David says this. He says, let's see.